Hello again, viewers, and greetings, fellow space travelers. This is Thorn of Night, and welcome to episode 45 of my bee breeding guide. In this episode, we're going to go taking a look at a bee past the industrious line off of one of the rocky branches through the mineral onto gemstone. And gemstone is a branch that adds 4 new bees here: the diamond, emerald, ruby, and sapphire bees. These are like your typical rocky bees. They work underground, they work in the rain, they work at night, they have short lives, low production, and no effects. But there is a nice advantage to these bees. Oh, and they are also added by extra bees. The advantage, as you might be able to guess, is they help you get extra ores and gems and whatnot. You are going to expect to get some of the rocky comb, like most of the bees off of the rocky branch, which will give you some of the beeswax and honey, but they will also give you some special new comb, which, when run through centrifuge, will also give you some of the normal product, but also will give you shards, or fragments rather. The diamond bee will give you diamond comb, which will give you diamond fragments. Likewise with the emerald, you'll get emerald fragments there, and you can turn these into their diamonds and emeralds respectively. There are also the ruby comb and sapphire comb from the same named bees, which do give off the fragments for ruby and the green and blue fragments for sapphire. I just have pieces of paper as placeholders here because apparently the mod for that is not in here. It probably is GregTech as far as I can tell, but it's not in this mod pack, so I don't have the actual processed output to show you, but it's the same sort of thing. You'll get the fragments to make the gems. It might be Red Power 2, come to think of it. It's either Red Power 2 or GregTech, one of those. I suppose I could have tested it out on a mod pack that has GregTech 2 just to see if it works. But regardless, let's go take a look at the actual bees themselves. And before I go on, I should mention that this map will be available for download through a link in the description below if you want to investigate yourself and do some experimenting on your own. But if not, I also have videos for everything else. But let's take a look at this diamond bee here. First off, I have a sort of numerical representation here for the distance of generations or mutations, I guess, from the hive bees that you have to actually gather yourself. So whereas a hive bee is 1, this lapis bee, for instance, is a level 8. So it takes 8 steps to get up to the lapis bee. Same thing with that. And so therefore, that makes the diamond a level 9 bee. Now, if you do not know how to make the lapis bee, go check out my mineral video. Or you can just, if you have downloaded this map, you can jump through the book and check out the mineral hub. Likewise, it requires an imperial bee. If you don't know how to do that, you can watch my noble video or jump to the noble hub. And I've left some stock in here for you to experiment with if you do wish to download it. But let's take a look at the bee itself and see what we got. An important thing to note, since it does use the imperial, you are going to likely get some royal jelly and dripping comb in the process of trying to get this. But let's grab this princess here and see how long this took, just for curiosity's sake. 17 generations. And that makes perfect sense because it is a rare gem. It takes a while to actually produce the bee itself. That makes perfect sense, and I'm fine by that. And wow, after all those generations, it actually turned out to almost be a purebred. But I will leave these in here for you to tinker with and examine if you wish. Let's look at the output here. These are purebred diamond bees First thing you're going to notice, like almost everything else off of the Rocky Branch, is that they will typically only give you one drone per breeding cycle. So you'll have to not rely on getting lots of drones out of them, which is unfortunate, but it's you can work around it by breeding in some additional traits for breeding more drones when the queen dies. But the bee for one life cycle will typically give you about 1 or 2 comb. There's some of the diamond comb and the rocky comb in there. This one actually gave 3. Nice. And when you run a stack of that diamond comb through the centrifuge, you are going to get a stack of diamond fragments. Only about a quarter stack of the honey drops and only about half a stack of the beeswax. But it's the diamonds you're after anyway, so that's what matters. That's what counts. Next up, we have the emerald bee, which requires the lapis bee once again, as well as a noble bee from the noble branch, just like that one. And once again, I've got some stock for you to play with if you want. And let's grab this princess and see the stats on it. 2 generations, that didn't take too long. Let's go ahead and do a side by side. Okay, that's not too far off, but it will take some doing to get it to stabilize. But let's take a look at the output from purebreds. Once again, the 1 drone is what you can expect out of these guys, and a chance for 1 or maybe 2 comb. This I grabbed the 1 emerald apparently that was produced and used it in here to make a stack for the centrifuge. So we've got the 1-for-1 ratio of the comb to the emerald fragments, as well as a half stack of beeswax and a quarter stack of the honey drops once again. Excuse me. Moving on to the ruby bee. Bee. Anyway, this time you're going to need the emerald bees that you got from breeding over there, and this new bee here is the austere bee. This comes from the austere branch, which you can go check out my austere video, or you can just hop through the book if you've downloaded the map. But let's let me make sure I have stock. Yes, let's take a look at the output here. I'll grab the ruby drone, but I will need the princess to check the age. And it took 2 generations, nothing too bad there. But the output is definitely not a purebred, so that'll take some rebreeding to get that to stabilize. So I will leave these here for you to look at and maybe experiment with if you wish. But let's look at the output from the ruby bee. Once again, 1 drone is what you can expect, and it looks like about 1 or maybe, if you're lucky, 2 of the comb, and you saw one of these ruby comb in there. This will likewise give you half a stack of the beeswax and a quarter stack of the honey drops. Plus, it should give you a stack of the ruby fragments when you have that mod included. The sapphire bee is the final one, and like the ruby bee, you are going to need the emerald bee for this, as well as an ocean bee from the aquatic line. Whoops. Once again, you can hop to the branch, or you can just watch my aquatic video for that information. I have obviously left some stock in there for you to play with, but let's take a look at the princess here and get the sapphire bee out. First off, the age is 4 generations in, not too horrible. And the output is not quite a purebred, but that's alright. So let's put these in here. You can look at them later. And let's look at the output. Once again, a single drone is what you're going to expect from these. And it looks like up to 2 comb as a possible output. Same stats on the beeswax and honey drop. And this time, the comb will produce 2 different types of fragments. The sapphire that is green and the sapphire that is blue. So that'll give you a little bit more output. But I obviously do not have that mod installed in this mod pack, so I do apologize for not having some representations for that output, but that is what you can expect. But this branch does not go on to create any further lines of bees. This is a terminal branch, but it is useful for getting these gems. The diamond and the emerald from vanilla, as well as the modded uh, gems from either Greg Tech or Red Power 2 or both, whichever one it is. But that's pretty much all there is to say about the uh, branch here, the gemstone branch. I don't believe I left anything out, but if I did, please feel free to leave me any questions or comments or suggestions in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching, and if you do like this video and like what I'm doing here, please do give me a like. I do appreciate that. Also, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe so you know when my future stuff comes out. But once again, if you wish to have this map, the link will be available in the download section, or a download link will be available in the comments section below. Getting ahead of myself. But I'm going to have to go ahead and wrap up here, so thank you once again for watching. This is Thorn of Night, and I will talk to you later.